It was a dark and stormy night, the kind of night that would make anyone want to stay inside. But not Sarah. She was always drawn to the darkness, the unknown. So, she grabbed her camera and headed out into the rain. She had heard stories about an abandoned house on the outskirts of town, a house that was said to be cursed. People who entered never returned. But Sarah was determined to see for herself. As she approached the house, she couldn't help but feel a chill run down her spine. The windows were shattered, and the roof was caved in. The front door was barely hanging on its hinges. But Sarah was undeterred. She stepped inside, and the first thing she noticed was the smell. It was musty and damp, like something had been rotting for years. The floorboards creaked beneath her feet, and the only sound was the sound of rain pounding against the roof. As she explored the house, Sarah began to feel like she wasn't alone. It was as if someone, or something, was watching her every move. But every time she turned around, there was nothing there. Eventually, Sarah made her way to the basement. It was even darker down there, and the smell was even stronger. She aimed her camera at the darkness and started filming. Suddenly, she heard a noise. It was a faint whisper, coming from somewhere deep within the basement. Sarah froze, not sure what to do. Then, she heard it again, louder this time. She started to back away slowly, but her foot hit something. She looked down and saw a small wooden box. It was covered in dust and cobwebs, and she could barely make out the intricate carvings on the lid. As she reached down to pick up the box, she heard the whisper again, this time louder than ever. It was like 1,000 voices speaking at once, and Sarah knew she had to get out of there. She turned to run, but something grabbed her ankle. She fell to the ground, her camera clattering to the floor. She tried to scream, but no sound came out. As she lay there, paralyzed with fear, she saw a figure emerging from the darkness. It was a woman, her skin gray and her eyes hollow. Sarah tried to move, but she was trapped. The woman leaned in close, her breath hot on Sarah's neck. And then, she whispered a single word.
Stay.
Sarah never returned from the house, and her camera was found weeks later, still recording. But when people watched the footage, they could hear the faint whisper, calling out to them from the darkness.